Introducing a filter, specifically an inductor, in series with the equipment ground conductor of a control panel, such as a fire alarm control panel, presents several potential downsides. It's important to carefully consider these drawbacks before implementing such a filter, even if it is Underwriters Laboratories listed and intended to reduce incoming transients. Firstly, there is increased line impedance. The filter introduces an inductance which inherently increases the impedance of the ground path. This seemingly small change can have significant consequences. Reduced fault current capacity may arise. The increased impedance limits the amount of fault current that can flow through the ground path during a ground fault condition. This reduction in fault current increases the risk of equipment damage, as protective devices like circuit breakers may not trip quickly enough to clear the fault. Impedance mismatching with other system components is also a concern. The added inductance can cause impedance mismatches with other components in the system, leading to signal distortion or increased noise levels. This is particularly relevant in sensitive electronic systems where signal integrity is crucial. Secondly, there is reduced electromagnetic interference shielding. The ground conductor plays a vital role in providing electromagnetic interference shielding for the control panel. By inserting a filter in the ground path, the effectiveness of the shielding is potentially compromised. This can allow electromagnetic interference to penetrate the panel more easily, disrupting the operation of electronic components and affecting the overall system functionality. The consequence is that the control panel is more vulnerable to external electromagnetic disturbances. Thirdly, there is additional voltage drop. The filter introduces a voltage drop along the ground path. This voltage drop, even if small, can affect the performance of other equipment connected to the same ground, such as auxiliary power supplies or emergency lighting systems. In particular, it could affect the voltage seen at the end of a long-run ground wire. Fourthly, there is reduced surge protection. Surge protection devices rely on a low-impedance ground path to effectively divert transient surges to ground. Introducing a filter in series with the ground conductor can reduce the effectiveness of these surge protection devices. This can increase the risk of damage to the control panel from electrical transients, such as those caused by lightning strikes or switching operations. The filter impedes the surge current from reaching ground, thus reducing surge protection. Fifthly, there are maintenance and testing issues. The filter adds an additional component to the system that requires periodic maintenance and testing. This increases the overall cost and complexity of maintaining the control panel. Regular inspection and testing of the filter are necessary to ensure that it is functioning properly and not degrading the performance of the ground system. Sixthly, there is potential for ground loops. If the filter is not properly installed or connected, it can create ground loops within the system. Ground loops are unwanted current paths that can lead to noise, interference, and potential safety hazards. Careful attention to grounding practices is essential to avoid ground loop problems when using filters in ground circuits. Seventhly, there is limited effectiveness. While the filter can reduce incoming transients to some extent, it may not be effective against all types of electrical hazards. It's crucial to consider the specific needs and risks associated with the installation before relying solely on a filter for protection. A comprehensive approach to electrical safety, including proper grounding, bonding, and surge protection, is generally recommended. Finally, there are warranty concerns. Modifying the equipment ground conductor in any way may void the manufacturer's warranty for the control panel. It is always crucial to consult with the manufacturer or a qualified electrician before installing any additional components in the ground path. This consultation is essential to ensure compliance with warranty requirements and applicable electrical codes and standards, such as those published by the National Electrical Code or NEC. Now let's expand on each of these downsides with more detailed explanations and practical examples. Beginning with increased line impedance, the inductor within the filter acts as a reactive component in the ground circuit. The impedance of an inductor is directly proportional to the frequency of the current flowing through it. Higher frequency transients will experience higher impedance, which may seem beneficial in reducing their impact. However, this increased impedance also hinders the flow of fault current during a ground fault. In a typical electrical system, the equipment grounding conductor provides a low impedance path for fault current to return to the source, allowing overcurrent protection devices like circuit breakers to quickly trip and de-energize the circuit. When an inductor is introduced in series with the equipment grounding conductor, it increases the overall impedance of the ground path, reducing the magnitude of the fault current. This reduced fault current may not be sufficient to trip the overcurrent protection device within the required time frame, potentially leading to equipment damage, fire hazards, and even electrical shock. To illustrate this point, consider a scenario where a ground fault occurs in a piece of equipment connected to the control panel. Without the filter, the fault current might reach several hundred amps, causing the circuit breaker to trip almost instantaneously. However, with the filter in place, the fault current might be limited to only a few tens of amps, which may not be enough to trip the circuit breaker quickly enough. This delay in tripping the circuit breaker can allow the fault current to persist for a longer period, leading to overheating, insulation damage, and potentially catastrophic failure of the equipment. Next, regarding reduced electromagnetic interference shielding, control panels are typically designed with an enclosure that provides electromagnetic interference shielding. This enclosure acts as a barrier, preventing external electromagnetic fields from interfering with the sensitive electronic components inside the panel. The equipment grounding conductor is an integral part of this shielding system, as it provides a path for induced currents on the enclosure to flow to ground. When a filter is inserted in series with the equipment grounding conductor, it can disrupt the flow of these induced currents, reducing the effectiveness of the shielding. As a result, the control panel becomes more susceptible to electromagnetic interference from external sources, such as radio transmitters, industrial equipment, and even nearby electronic devices. This interference can manifest as noise on signal lines, erratic behavior of electronic circuits, and even complete system failure. For example, a fire alarm control panel located near a radio transmitter might experience false alarms or communication errors due to electromagnetic interference penetrating the panel. The filter in the ground path would exacerbate this problem by reducing the effectiveness of the shielding. Moving on to additional voltage drop, the inductor in the filter has a characteristic known as inductive reactance. When alternating current flows through an inductor, it creates a voltage drop across the inductor. This voltage drop is proportional to the inductance of the filter and the frequency of the current. In the context of the equipment grounding conductor, any voltage drop along the ground path can have unintended consequences. The equipment grounding conductor is intended to be at or near ground potential, providing a reference point for the operation of electronic circuits. If there is a significant voltage drop along the ground path, it can create a potential difference between different parts of the system, leading to ground loops and other problems. Additionally, the voltage drop can affect the performance of other equipment connected to the same ground, such as auxiliary power supplies or emergency lighting systems. For instance, if the voltage at the ground terminal of an auxiliary power supply is significantly different from the voltage at the ground terminal of the control panel, it can cause the power supply to malfunction or operate outside of its specified parameters. Now, considering reduced surge protection devices, or SPDs, are designed to protect electronic equipment from voltage surges caused by lightning strikes, switching operations, and other transient events. These devices typically work by diverting the surge current to ground through a low impedance path. When a filter is installed in series with the equipment grounding conductor, it increases the impedance of the ground path, making it more difficult for the SPD to effectively divert the surge current. As a result, a larger portion of the surge current may flow through the protected equipment, potentially causing damage. To illustrate this point, imagine a lightning strike near a building that houses a control panel. Without the filter, the surge current would be quickly diverted to ground through the SPD, protecting the control panel from damage. However, with the filter in place, the increased impedance in the ground path would impede the flow of surge current, forcing a larger portion of it to flow through the control panel, potentially damaging sensitive electronic components. Let's elaborate on maintenance and testing issues. The filter adds another component that must be inspected and tested periodically. The inductance value of the filter may change over time due to temperature variations, aging, or exposure to harsh environmental conditions. Regular testing is needed to ensure that the filter is still functioning within its specified parameters and that it is not degrading the performance of the ground system. Additionally, the connections to the filter must be inspected for corrosion, looseness, and other signs of degradation. Any problems with the filter or its connections must be addressed promptly to prevent potential safety hazards. The complexity and cost of maintaining the control panel are therefore increased. Turning to the potential for ground loops. Ground loops occur when there are multiple paths to ground in a system, creating a loop in the ground circuit. These loops can pick up electromagnetic interference and create unwanted currents that flow through the ground conductors. These currents can cause noise, interference, and even safety hazards. When a filter is installed in the equipment grounding conductor, it can inadvertently create a ground loop if it is not properly installed or connected. For example, if the filter is connected to ground at multiple points, it can create a loop in the ground circuit. To avoid ground loops, it is essential to follow proper grounding practices and to ensure that the filter is connected to ground at a single point. Let's consider the limited effectiveness aspect. While a filter can reduce incoming transients, it may not be effective against all types of electrical hazards. For example, a filter designed to attenuate high-frequency transients may not be effective against low-frequency surges or voltage sags. Additionally, a filter may not be able to protect against direct lightning strikes or other severe electrical events. Therefore, it is crucial to consider the specific needs and risks associated with the installation before relying solely on a filter for protection. A comprehensive approach to electrical safety is generally recommended, including proper grounding, bonding, surge protection, and regular inspection and maintenance. To expand on warranty concerns, modifying the equipment grounding conductor in any way may void the manufacturer's warranty for the control panel. This is because the manufacturer has designed and tested the control panel to operate safely and reliably with its original grounding system. Any modifications to the grounding system can potentially compromise the safety and performance of the control panel, and the manufacturer may not be willing to assume responsibility for any problems that arise as a result. Therefore, it is always crucial to consult with the manufacturer or a qualified electrician before installing any additional components in the ground path. It is very important to document such actions to prove that the manufacturer was aware and has not warned against it. Now, to provide some practical advice, before considering the installation of a filter in the equipment grounding conductor of a control panel, it is essential to conduct a thorough risk assessment to determine the specific electrical hazards that the panel is likely to encounter. This assessment should consider factors such as the location of the panel, the type of equipment connected to the panel, and the electrical environment in which the panel is operating. Based on the risk assessment, a qualified electrician can determine whether a filter is necessary and, if so, what type of filter is most appropriate. If a filter is deemed necessary, it is crucial to select a filter that is specifically designed for use in equipment grounding circuits. The filter should be UL listed or certified by another reputable testing laboratory to ensure that it meets applicable safety standards. Additionally, a filter should have a low impedance at the frequencies of interest and should be able to withstand the expected surge currents. The filter should be installed in accordance with the manufacturer's instructions and all applicable electrical codes and standards. Proper grounding and bonding techniques should be used to minimize the risk of ground loops. After the filter is installed, it should be tested to verify that it is functioning properly and that it is not degrading the performance of the ground system. Periodic inspections and maintenance should be performed to ensure that the filter continues to operate safely and reliably. It is also worth considering alternative solutions to mitigate electrical hazards, such as using surge protection devices at the service entrance and at the control panel, improving the grounding and bonding of the electrical system, and relocating the control panel to a less electrically noisy environment. These alternative solutions may be more effective and less problematic than installing a filter in the equipment grounding conductor. It's also prudent to ask about the availability of control panels with built-in surge protection or filtering. Some manufacturers offer control panels that are specifically designed to withstand electrical transients and that include built-in surge protection or filtering. These panels may be a better option than modifying an existing control panel. It is imperative to document all modifications made to the electrical system, including the installation of a filter in the equipment grounding conductor. This documentation should include the type of filter used, the installation date, the test results, and any other relevant information. The documentation should be kept in a safe place and should be readily available for future reference. Finally, consult with the qualified electrical engineer to review the proposed installation of the filter and to ensure that it is in compliance with all applicable codes and standards. An electrical engineer can provide valuable insights and recommendations that can help to ensure the safety and reliability of the electrical system. To further clarify the potential drawbacks, let's consider specific scenarios and calculations. Imagine a fire alarm control panel is located in a building with a history of lightning strikes. The control panel is responsible for monitoring smoke detectors, initiating alarms, and communicating with the fire department. A transient voltage surge, such as one caused by a nearby lightning strike, could damage the control panel, causing it to malfunction or fail completely. To protect the control panel, an engineer proposes installing a filter in series with the equipment grounding conductor. The filter is designed to attenuate high-frequency transients, but it also introduces an inductance of 100 microhenries into the ground path. Now let's calculate the impedance of the ground path with and without the filter. Without the filter, the impedance of the ground path is primarily determined by the resistance of the grounding conductor and the connections. Assuming a ground conductor resistance of 0.1 ohms, the impedance of the ground path is approximately 0.1 ohms. With a filter in place, the impedance of the ground path is increased by the inductive reactance of the filter. The inductive reactance can be calculated using the formula X equals 2 times pi times F times L, where X is the inductive reactance, F is the frequency, and L is the inductance. Assuming a frequency of 1 MHz for the transient surge, the inductive reactance of the filter is approximately 628 ohms. Therefore, the total impedance of the ground path with the filter in place is approximately 628.1 ohms. This represents a significant increase in impedance which can have several negative consequences. First, the reduced fault current capacity can increase the risk of equipment damage during a ground fault. If a ground fault occurs in the control panel, the fault current will be limited by the increased impedance of the ground path. This reduced fault current may not be sufficient to trip the circuit breaker quickly enough, allowing the fault current to persist for a longer period and potentially damaging the control panel. Second, the reduced electromagnetic interference shielding can make the control panel more susceptible to noise and interference. The filter can disrupt the flow of induced currents on the control panel enclosure, reducing the effectiveness of the shielding. This can allow electromagnetic interference to penetrate the panel and interfere with the operation of the electronic components. Third, the additional voltage drop can affect the performance of other equipment connected to the same ground. The filter can introduce a voltage drop along the ground path, which can affect the voltage at the ground terminals of other equipment connected to the same ground. This can cause the other equipment to malfunction or operate outside of its specified parameters. Fourth, the reduced surge protection can increase the risk of damage to the control panel from electrical transients. The filter can impede the flow of surge current to ground, forcing a larger portion of the surge current to flow through the control panel, potentially damaging sensitive electronic components. In summary, while a filter in the equipment grounding conductor may seem like a simple solution to mitigate electrical hazards, it can have several significant downsides. It is essential to carefully consider these downsides before installing a filter and to consult with a qualified electrical engineer to ensure that the installation is safe and effective. Additionally, alternative solutions to mitigate electrical hazards should be considered, such as using surge protection devices, improving grounding and bonding, and relocating the control panel. It is important to weigh the pros and cons of each approach before making a decision. It is always crucial to prioritize safety and to comply with all applicable codes and standards.